The last few weeks, I've been seeing the woods every time I close my eyes, and this is what it looks like. Hi, thanks for joining me again. Today we are in the Clifty Wilderness near Red River Gorge, and it's January and it's snowing. I've been to this area 6, 7, 8 times, and a couple times in the winter, but I've never been here when it was snowing. So this is my first experience in the snow here, and it's gorgeous. There's some fresh snow this morning on the pines and the hemlocks. This is exactly what I want out of a winter hike. I'm hiking the Swift Camp Creek Trail today, and I hope to end up somewhere down near Turtleback Arch. That's one of the off-trail arches in the area. I am prepared for the cold. I have a lot of extra preparations. You might have noticed that I have an extra sleeping pad strapped to the bottom of my backpack. So that's 2 sleeping pads, 2 quilts, an extra set of dry clothes to wear at camp and overnight. I've got 2 hats, I've got a balaclava, I've got hand warmers. I think I'm going to have everything I need and more, because according to the forecast, it's not even going to get much colder than it is now. I don't have a lot of distance to do today, so I have time for a couple detours like this one. I was planning on waiting a little bit longer for lunch, but then I came across this perfect lunch spot. So I decided to take advantage of it. Look at this. I'm inside this rock shelter where it's dry and warm. Dripping icicles all over the place. The sound of a waterfall from down below somewhere. And what's for lunch, you may ask? We have Thai chili tuna on a tortilla and a protein bar. I've reached the creek. I sure hope I don't have to ford that. I'm going the right way. I'm sweating too much after climbing that ridge. So now that the sun's out, I am taking off a couple layers and trying to dry out a little bit. Actually, there's a breeze that doesn't feel too bad right now. It's drying me off pretty good without freezing me to death. This might give you some idea how far up I am right now. If you can see the creek down there. I can hear ice falling from the rock faces underneath me. I'm kind of climbing in and out of these canyons, hoping that the intersection with the Wildcat Trail is up here. I still haven't found that. I've been out here for about 3 hours. Wow. It's an ice tree. Slippery. I took a little tumble back there on the bare rocks. Lots of ice. The sun is warming all this ice on the canyon walls that are above me, and I can hear it falling in big sheets. I've been walking all day, and it's about an hour before I wanted to make camp. Maybe an hour and a half. And I haven't seen any of the landmarks or any of the signposts that I thought I would see. So I'm on the Swift Camp Creek Trail somewhere right now, but I don't know exactly where. So I guess I'm just gonna hike another hour. If I don't see anything I recognize, I'm gonna make camp. And then I guess I'll just backtrack out in the morning. I can always do that. I was gonna make kind of a loop, but I haven't seen where that loop intersects with the trail that I'm on. So if all else fails, I'll just go back out the same way in the morning. That right there means that I haven't missed anything. I've just been going a lot slower than I thought I was. I think that means I've only gone 3 miles or something, which is way less than I thought. That was a tough 3 miles. And I guess I've been stopping too much to film. I need to knock out this next section pretty fast, so I might not be filming a whole lot. I think tomorrow I'm gonna backtrack to this point and then take that Wildcat Trail back to the road and then kind of follow the road back to my trailhead. Give me a nice little loop. I need to go right toward Rock Bridge. This is why it's taken me so long. I keep finding stuff to stop and look at and take pictures of. Look at that. Look how cool that is. All these ice balls down here that I had to walk through. These are wintergreen berries. You can eat them. That's what they look like. And they taste like wintergreen. Here's something I was hoping wouldn't happen. I have to find a way to cross this. I made it across. I used those rocks and logs over there, and it wasn't too bad. I thought for a minute I was going to have to turn back. This is going to have to be camp for the night. It's getting late. I'm running out of energy. I have a feeling I'm almost at the place I wanted to stop today. But I can't pass up a nice campsite. I've been telling myself for about an hour that I was going to stop at the next decent campsite. This is actually the only decent camping area I've seen for the last probably 3 hours. There are not a lot of places to camp out here. But this has running water. It's got flat ground. It's got a bunch of wood that I think I can dry out and start a fire. I was hoping to be a little bit farther up on a ridge where it would be a little bit drier. But that's okay. I can live with this. Let's make it home for the night. Well, I'm set up now. I'm not having much luck with the fire. Everything is very damp. But I have my tent set up. I got my bedding spread out in there. I got my dinner cold soaking right now. I brought some chili that I dehydrated at home. I'm soaking that in water right now, get it all nice and soft, and then I'm going to heat it up. It's going to be dark in less than 2 hours. It'll probably be an early night for me, especially if I can't get this fire going. I want to warm up and get into clothes that are totally dry. Clothes that I wasn't sweating in today. It's gonna feel good. Chili and Fritos. I've been looking forward to this all day. And for dessert, we have apples with brown sugar and cinnamon. It smells just like a freshly baked apple pie. I don't know if you'll be able to see me, but I'm settling in for the night. I'm under 2 quilts. I'm wearing about 3 layers. I have 2 sleeping pads underneath me. I have my inflatable pad and that closed cell phone pad that I have for this trip. My last trip at Grayson Highlands, my inflatable pad failed me, got a hole, and I repaired that at home. But I haven't tried it out yet, so I don't even know if it's going to hold air tonight. Hope it does. But I think I might write a little bit and then try to go to sleep. And it's going to be a long night. We get about 10 or 12 hours of darkness. Hopefully that means 10 or 12 hours of sleep. Good night. I'll talk to you in the morning. As you can see, I survived the night. I stayed pretty warm, for the most part. Got some good sleep. There's a lot of condensation in here, which is something I was worried about. The outside of my quilt was very wet. And at first I thought it was just the condensation from my breath, but I think it's because we're in this damp little hollow where I can't get a fire started. I was afraid of that, but it didn't really affect me too much overnight. It did start to rain a little bit about an hour before dawn, which I was not happy about. I got up and I grabbed my food bag and brought it in, and brought in my boots, closed everything down. I noticed there was a little bit of snow on my rainfly, so it started out as snow and then turned to rain. It warmed up a little bit overnight. Fortunately, the rain has stopped, I think, now. Which is good, because I hate packing up in the rain. Let's get some breakfast. You know, as much as I try to avoid people, it almost always makes me happy to talk to somebody else on the trail. 3 guys just came down off the hill over there, and we talked for a few minutes. I asked them if they knew exactly where we are, and they showed me on the map. And I am exactly where I thought I was. Turtleback Arch is still another maybe half-mile down the trail, and then it's off the trail and difficult to find and steep. So I'm not going to do that today. I'm just gonna backtrack out of here. and leave Turtleback Arch for next time. I'm satisfied with that. Time to walk. It's a beautiful morning. The sun's coming out. It's a little bit warmer than yesterday. I was eager to get back on the trail today. I've got maybe 4 or 5 miles to cover today. I'm going to be backtracking to that Wildcat trail sign that we saw yesterday, and then taking that trail back to the car. I think that trail follows a ridge. That's what it looks like on the topo map anyway. I hope it does, because this Swift Camp Creek trail is challenging. This is one of the harder trails I've done in this area. A lot of up and down, a lot of rocks, a lot of roots, trees down, very narrow, very slippery. Just very slow going. That's why I didn't cover a whole lot of ground yesterday. Some of these you're just inching along. It's a little bit softer today. The snow is melting. I still hear that ice coming off the canyon walls. Well, I've backtracked all the way to this creek. It looks like the water level is up. It's up a couple inches over yesterday, so this is going to be slightly more difficult. The good news is that if I get wet feet today, it doesn't really matter. The way back usually feels shorter. Not today. Some of this ice just fell on the path. Remember this? The backtracking section is done. Now I'm going to climb up there and hit the ridge. Look at this trail. A sheet of ice. I just climbed up out of the shady side of that icy canyon, and now I finally got some ridgetop walking. This is nice. I wouldn't mind this all the way back to the car. Now I can make up for some lost time. I just saw a car drive by in the distance, so I can't be too far away from the road. The miles go by pretty fast when you're on this flat ridge. It's a nice change of pace. I got so hot and sweaty and all that up and down stuff. If I would have gotten this way yesterday, I probably would have got hypothermia. Today, I don't care, because I'm going to be at the car and I'm going to warm up and get some lunch. But in the meantime, I'm just going to enjoy the rest of this walk, because it's such a nice morning. And here's the road. I have to walk the road about a mile that way to get to my car. I did manage to find a little bit of a trail off the road, but now I'm almost back at the car, so it almost doesn't matter. But it's nice not having to watch out for cars. The road is busy today. There's hardly anybody out here yesterday with snow on the roads. But now, everybody's out enjoying this beautiful morning. As for me, I'm going to go sit down for a while, get something for lunch, and then head home. Thanks for joining me again. I'll see you next time.